if we have sound on Twitch because of the bug in the OBS and the thing, and is it working? We do have sound on Twitch. Excellent. So now we can start Dementia Radio. Or do you need me to wait?
TV, the FuMP?
Twitch.tv/the_FuMP.
Or FuMP, yeah. Twitch.tv.
Because branding.
If it'll let me. Because every time I post something with a link, it never...
Yeah. All right. Dementia Radio is streaming now.
Dementia.
And recording in 3, 2, 1.
Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast. Brought to you by TheFump.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski.
Hey, Devo Spice.
Hey, Luke Ski.
We have the Suffolk and Goode players today.
Greetings. We are Suffolk and Goode indeed. Skirting the rules of the FCC.
Yes.
We have
the FB.
Dale Leopold and Chris Mezzolesta of the Suffolk and Goode players. Did you guys hear the music eventually? I forgot to change my inputs on Zoom.
I did, yes.
You did?
Yes.
Okay. Eventually, yeah. I realized after it started playing that I'd never changed my Zoom inputs back. So, okay. As I mentioned to the people before the chat, I'm down a monitor. This monitor is not working for some reason. I don't know why, but that's where I keep the chat window and the Zoom chat window and the Twitch stream and a couple other things. So that's all crammed onto this monitor now, because this monitor over here is where is the screen that's being broadcast onto Twitch. So I can't put anything over here, or that will show up on Twitch too. So I'm going to be clicking a lot of windows and stuff.
For porn.
Right.
No, that's not.
Welcome to episode 662 of the Funny Music Podcast for February 23rd, 2023. The title of this week's episode is Luxurious Cherries. For some reason.
I had their album back in the early 70s, you know. They were a prog band out of Sweden.
I think they opened for Scooter Picnic.
Yeah. Scooter Pie.
Scooter Pie. All right, let's do the thing.
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke bailed and didn't show up.
Hey, what?
Oh, he's right.
So, Luke, what you been up to?
Primarily, you know, doing MarsCon things. Very happy that I finally got the audio promo, the video promo, and the free preview finished for both MarsCon and for the fundraiser.
We will see the video promo later in this show.
Yes. I want Chris Mezzolesta to see the drawings.
He won't see them on the Zoom. He'll have to watch them separately.
I did see the drawings, and the drawings were funny.
Yay. And I went to see Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and I thought it was an awesome, funny movie. I continue to be amazed at, like, I just don't understand. Like, I know that I have the reputation for liking everything, but I just feel like the more time goes on, the more people get so, like, entitled and, like, if everything isn't as good as freaking Endgame, then it's a failure. You know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah. There is, with the Marvel stuff, though, there is legitimate superhero fatigue at this point. You know, people are just kind of tired of it. And a lot of people have just jumped ship because every new Marvel movie that comes out assumes you've seen the other 34 that came before it, you know? So,
I don't know. I just kind of feel like I'm just, being the Gen Xer that I am, it just I just view it all like we didn't have this when I grew up. It was like
We had Lou Ferrigno as the Incredible Hulk, which was awesome. I loved that show.
But it's like, it's like all those years when we were saying things like, wouldn't it be cool if there was a movie where it was like a Justice League movie, but Christopher Reeve was Batman and Michael Keaton, or, Christopher Reeve was Superman, Michael Keaton was Batman, and Linda Carter was Wonder Woman, and it was all connected, man, and, like, we never got any of that stuff, and now we finally have that, and for me, the notion of, like, complaining about it is like, how could you possibly complain about I don't know. That's just my attitude, whatever. I'm a fool. What else? Yeah, just basically, working. This was kind of two funny things. Like sometime in the past week or so, before my roommate Santana left to go visit people, visit her family and stuff. She's going to be gone for a few weeks. We were walking into Walmart together, and I heard, music blaring from a car. And it just kind of made me stop in my tracks and look over at the car. He was listening to the song "Self-Destruction," which is, for those who don't know, back in the late '80s when like there was all this talk of like gang violence and stuff. All the East Coast rappers that were famous made like a big team up song called "Self-Destruction," basically an anti-violent song, and it was like. Everybody who was everybody from the East Coast rappers were all in this one song. And just as a asterisk, a year or two later, all the LA people did the same thing with a song called We're All in the Same Gangs. But anyway, the point is, it's like, who in 2023 in the Valley is listening to the song Self-Destruction loudly in their car who isn't me? I just looked over and I'm like, I just kind of wanted to like, track the dude down, and I'm like, just be like, hi, can we be friends? Why are you listening to this song right now? But I did not do any of that. But I wanted to share that story with you, just because, like, you're one of the people who would know what that song is.
Yes, I remember that song.
And then the other kind of funny thing was, I've had on my calendar for a couple of months now, because you have to schedule these things far in advance. That I'm scheduled for a colonoscopy on March 24th. So a day or two ago, I got a text from the place doing it, being like, we'll be seeing you. This is a text to remind you that you have blah 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 for 2/24. I'm like, wait, 2/24? So it's like I suddenly found myself yesterday, making phone calls to say like, hey, I have it in my records that this is a March 24th colonoscopy, not a February 24th colonoscopy. And fortunately, early this morning, it got straightened out. But, I didn't have surprise colonoscopy on my bingo card for this week.
Nobody wants a surprise colonoscopy.
Brings to mind that classic, I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places. Ah.
It's elementary, my dear Watson.
Yeah. Ow!
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The colonoscopy is not much the prep. It's the prep. The prep.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa! I mean, I'm totally fine with having it done. It's just a matter of, I specifically remember when I scheduled it with them to have it be in March, so it was after MarsCon. So I didn't want to be both getting a colonoscopy and going, oh, I gotta email the people about the SmackDown concert. I didn't want to deal with both of those at the same time.
Be sending out emails that go, may I Mambo Dog Face of the Banana Patch?
Get that kid a special test. Get him out of here.
Hey, get him out.
Oh, and speaking of taking a special test, I finally heard back from some place that's that was willing to set up for me a telehealth appointment with a psychiatrist, so that I could seemingly have the beginnings of getting a diagnostic autism assessment, like I've been trying to get for months. So yay, a thing is finally happening. so we'll see how that goes. Which, if assuming that all happens and and assuming that they do say like, yes, Luke, you have autism, blah blah blah. It doesn't really like change anything except for me being able to hold a piece of paper and going like, see, see, I told you there was something wrong with me. Like that's basically it.
We're kind of in that boat with Jen, trying to figure out what's wrong with her, just 'cause she's in pain and they don't know why, and there's things are falling apart and not working, and so multiple doctors. Nobody. I mean, she has sciatica, and we're dealing with that. But other than that, things are weird. I don't want to get into it, but yeah, it's just lots of tests. Nobody knows what's going on.
Weird.
So, that's fun.
Weird.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I want to find out so that A, I know, and B, among other reasons, if I wanted to reach out to like, I don't know, help groups or whatever. I want to go into them legitimately saying like, yes, I have a diagnosis of this thing. It's I'm here trying to get help with this specific thing that I know for sure that I have, and that I'm not there's part of me, and maybe this is part of various neuroses that I have. I don't want it to seem like I'm taking advantage of something that's out there to help people when I'm not in that category. It's
Stolen spectrum, I think it's called. Yes, like stolen valor.
Yeah, it's like I'm not going to go to like a homeless shelter and on Thanksgiving and start eating the food there. It's like, well, I'm a hungry person too, so I should have some of this food. It's like, no, that food is for those people. Anyway, what have you been up to, Devo?
Well, we had I took Darren to a swim meet this past weekend. It was the Silvers championships, because the championships at the YMCA are divided into levels. There's bronze, silver, states, and then I think nationals. And so this was the Silvers championship, and he was in 5 or 6 events. He actually won the 50 free, so that was neat. So I was watching him swim it, and it was a close race, but he wasn't in the last heat. Usually they put all the fastest swimmers in the last heat. He was in the second to last heat, so he won his heat by like 0.2 of a second. And then the next heat comes up, and I'm watching, and I'm like, I watch them all finish, and I'm like, I think Darren beat all of them, and I'm like, oh my god. So that's awesome. He also came in third in the 200 back, and his team came in third for the relay. They actually tied for third, down to the 100th of a second, which was fun. I have been working on a new song and video for it, which has been fun, because I'm trying to up my video game. So not video game, my attempts at making videos. And like the main thing I learned when I was doing the film school was that I just need to plan better, and planning is something that I suck at. So now that I know how to plan a film shoot, I'm actually going through the motions and doing it, and oh my god, it helps so much. So I got everything shot except for one scene which requires being outdoors, and yesterday it was like rain, sleet, snowing. And today I got busy at work, and it was still rainy and overcast and stuff. So I'm hopefully going to film that tomorrow. I was hoping to have the video done by tomorrow. That's not going to happen. So I got one more thing to shoot tomorrow, and then I have to edit it together. And the reason I don't have any of it done is because work went nuts. I'm working on a website, which according to the timeline, I was supposed to have 9 days for, and 9 business days of 8-hour days working on it. And somehow that got shortened to 3, which is not enough time to program this website. In fact, 9 days isn't enough time to program this website. This is like a 12 to 15 day website, and I got 9 days, and then I got 3, and I'm like, no. So we pushed them back, and we got 4, and then we got 5, and tomorrow is day 5, and I'm not going to have it done by end of day tomorrow. So my plan is to stay up all night tonight and working on it, so that I don't have to work this weekend on it, because Sunday is my birthday, and fuck them if they think I'm working on my birthday. So I'm going to, bust my ass tonight, get as much of it done as I can. If I have to, I'll work on Saturday, but I'm hoping to finish it up tomorrow after being up tonight. So I'm gonna be tired. I'm getting too old to pull all-nighters. So that's my life.
And I'll die if I want.
Yeah.
It's my life.
So Dale, what have you been up to?
Working on the old My Friend Lisa podcast with Chris and our assorted other Suffolk and good folks. It's funny. I do want to comment on what Luke was saying about the diagnosis thing. Is that I had the same experience when I was 36, getting an ADHD diagnosis, where someone just sort of suggested it to me, and I was like, "Oh, really? That's a thing?" Oh, yeah. And then in retrospect, it explained a lot. It's like, oh yeah, okay. And that was quite important to me. It was quite life-changing. So yeah, I hope it's whatever it is, it's accurate.
Yeah, it's like I was having a lunch with a friend of mine, my roommate Erica, 2 or 3 years ago, and I had gotten like a one sheet of paper like form that was kind of a questionnaire about ADHD, because my psychiatrist had been mentioning to me that, and I kept saying like, no, that doesn't seem like me, because I'm just thinking about all of the cliches of what ADHD is, and I'm like, no, that's not me. And then so I was sitting there looking at it, and then Erica was like, oh, here, let me take it, let me help you fill this out. And she's like, yep, you do this, you do this, you do this. It was like just basically like racking up the majority of all these things. And then I got the diagnosis, and then I started learning about it, and then I'm like, and then I started taking the meds, and it just made me kind of put into focus, like, I have always been like this. This explains a great deal of things. So yeah,
Indeed. Yeah, but nothing else too exciting going on. I'm in Richmond, so it was like 82 degrees today, which is record setting for February, which is great for now. But when it's record setting at 92 in February or whatnot, it's not going to be that much fun.
We'll just wait till July and August roll around, and it's 120 in record setting.
It's a damn hoax, is what it is. Chinese damn hoax.
So, Chris, what have you been up to?
No good, as a matter of fact. No. Among other things, I am studying quite seriously for my ham radio next license class up.
Sorry.
Which is the top level of that you can go in ham radio in the United States. So
you're going full ham on ham radio.
Full, give me ham on 5, hold the mayo. Okay. So it's a lot of technical stuff that, I had some of it I knew, Ohm's law, or, resistors in series or resistors in parallel. Yeah, well, that was like a long time
That stuff
ago.
Really hurts. It hurts. A
now
lot.
it's like,
okay.
what are the
Great
Keplerian
frequency.
elements of a satellite transmission? So I'm following along with a class out of a ham radio club in the Southeast somewhere. They're doing their weekly meetings on Zoom, but they're also YouTubing them. So I'm watching them after the fact, so I can go along, write the salient stuff down in my notebook, and so that I can try to force it into my brain, because my brain hurts. So I'm going to just follow the class along until I think it's once a week until May or something, and then look for a local place to take the exam and keep fingers, toes, and eyes crossed that I remembered everything about the technical stuff and how to, when you talk on the radio and the antennas and the radio waves and all that kind of stuff like that. So a lot of technical stuff, but it's it's a lot of fun, and it's going to be groovy if I can get it, because it gives you every privilege. Any frequency you want to transmit on or talk to somebody, you can do it. You want to try to bounce a radio signal off the moon, you can do it. You want to this.
Does it get Tierra del Fuego? That's what I'm...
Well, Bucko, yes, of course. Well, here, Sport Motors.
Between that and taking care of the folks and seeing my grandkids and things like that, and the biggest thing is I took the dive The plunge, really. What a plunge. I just dropped one of the biggest amounts of money in my life that wasn't on a house, and I ordered a vocal isolation booth. So,
like one of the pre-built ones?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which can double as a house, and
Yeah, boy. Back in my parents' day, you could have bought a house for this. But it's being made to spec, and it's going to be like a 4 foot by 6 foot booth, about a little over 7 foot tall. It comes, modular. You put together. It comes in crates and stuff. So we'll take all the pieces downstairs to the basement. Put them. My son and I probably, we'll put them all together. We got to put the ceiling, and it's got a vent unit on the back for little, fans, ventilation, and then nothing is ever 100% soundproof.
Yeah,
but it has measurements at which, like, I can't remember what it stands for, but it's like the STC, something about a coefficient of like a sound transmission coefficient or something like that. At 125 hertz, it'll cut by 42 dB. At 3,000 hertz, it'll cut by 68 dB. That kind of thing. It's just it's sort of like these panels that I built, except a lot bigger and meatier and more expensive. So, with a door and a window. But
while I was at Silver's this weekend, I had to record Manic Mondays, so I built a pillow fort on the bed.
Yes.
We know this.
Yeah, right, Dale? Yeah, the old pillow fort trick, yeah.
Many a fort has been built.
I have watched Chris build a fort like that at
MarsCon,
the
right?
hotel room the weekend of Kyle and Lindsay's wedding. So.
Oh, that too, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because you can't ever really be, and when you're in a really reflective hotel room, because everything is probably a concrete modular wall behind that little weird wallpaper they make. So about, I don't know, maybe about 6 weeks or so before my booth gets here, but that was a major investment. So I'm always out for voiceover work if anybody needs e-learning and commercials.
Send them some cards and letters.
Yes.
But he's also putting together a Suffolk and Goode album.
Oh, I am indeed. Oh, yeah, that's
at least right. I think he is.
Yeah. It's been in process a long time, and we're going to be doing some of the fixing up. Me and Rebecca Davis, one of our fine voice actresses, who had a very small but very groovy role in, what was it, The Incredibles 2?
Incredibles 2, yes.
Yes,
she was the police scanner voice, yes. And she's done a whole lot of gaming stuff, too. She's out in Hollywood.
And she's sung on a few tracks of our stuff over the years. So there's just a few things for time's sake of the original episode deadlines, there were some notes she thought she couldn't hit. I know she could, but she wasn't able to get them to me in time. So I had to quickly overdub a couple of notes for her. But I'm saying, hey, now that we're doing the album, I'd like to have it all be you, please. Can we just, it's like a line here, a line there, a line in that song, and that ought to do it. So we're going to do that after our episode recording tomorrow. So but that's what I've been doing, and setting up the recording studio downstairs in the basement. I've got my studio desk set up. I don't have much else other than a PC and a set of monitor speakers set up, because I don't know exactly how everything's going to fit in with the booth and how much I'm eventually going to spill over into the laundry. So, so right now I'm kind of feeling my way through, and this room is okay. I got acoustic tile above me, and concrete block walls around me, and a carpet and all that. It's okay, and it's getting the job done for work. But I'm on a little TV tray. This is it. This is the extent of my workspace, and it's driving me up the wall. So.
At the very least, your laundry should be soundproof.
We'll have the quietest laundry this side of Cleveland or something, or Barberton or something. But yeah, that's what's going on this end. But we got a new tune.
Yes.
And, we're happy about it. It's also our new single, by the way, at our Bandcamp store.
It's a double A thing. There's no filler.
Give us a quick intro to the song, and we'll give it a listen.
It's the Suffolk and Goode Players, and this one's called. And this has special Guest appearance, even though he doesn't know it, by Senate Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. This is called Alpha Better.
Hi, old Kermit the Frog here. Remember how we used to teach kids that one of these things is not like the other? Well, it turns out it's also true for grown-up political parties. And we want to make sure everyone knows which side we agree with. Here's my friend Hakeem to literally spell it out for you. We will always put
American values over autocracy, benevolence over bigotry, the Constitution over the cult, democracy over demagogues, economic opportunity over extremism, freedom over fascism, governing over gaslighting, hopefulness over hatred, inclusion over isolation.
ABC, it's all about democracy. ABC, exposing the GOP. Yeah!
Justice over judicial overreach, knowledge over kangaroo courts, liberty over limitation, maturity over Mar-a-Lago, normalcy over negativity, opportunity over obstruction, people over politics, quality of life issues over QAnon.
ABC, it's all about democracy. ABC, exposing the GOP.
Reason over racism, substance over slander, triumph over tyranny, understanding over ugliness, voting rights over voter suppression, working families over the well-connected, xenial over xenophobia.
In case you were wondering what it means to be xenial, it means that to your guest you are more congenial. Like the Statue of Liberty promised we'd be. Come on, everyone, and sing with me. Yay!
ABC, it's all about democracy. ABC, exposing the GOP.
Yes, we can, but you can't do it.
Come on, join along. There's nothing to it.
And zealous representation over zero-sum confrontation.
ABC, it's all about democracy. ABC, exposing the GOP.
Everybody.
ABC, it's all about democracy. ABC, exposing the GOP. ABC, it's all about democracy. And cookie. ABC, exposing the GOP. ABC, it's all about democracy. ABC, exposing the...
Okay, so who did what voice on that song?
So I did the Kermit, and I think a couple of other Muppets towards the end there. Chris was pretty much the rest of the chorus. On the other side of the single, there's a different version without Kermit, with Chris doing most of the between Hakeem vocals, and obviously Hakeem is doing the rest. So this was
the video mix.
Yes, right, the video mix. Yes, I still don't know if he is even aware of this yet, but who knows? But
You've tweeted it to him.
because I was a government politics major way back in the past millennium, I tend to follow politics a lot, and so I actually stayed up and watched however many of those votes for speaker, and it was just such schadenfreude throughout the whole process. But finally, when we get to the end, then Hakeem gave the speech, and sort of out of the blue, this was like 1 o'clock in the morning or something when he gave the speech, and I was like, "Ooh, he's actually going to go through the whole damn alphabet! Wow, okay, wow, that's cool." And it was kind of rhythmic. It wasn't strictly in rhythm, but it was like, maybe we can do something with this. And so I kind of said to Chris, it's like, maybe we can do that. We might have to get one of our other cast members to do some of the lyrics because it's not going to fit in meter. But Chris did, like, I don't know how long you spent on it, but you managed to, like, literally get it so it was really in the groove, and it was amazing work.
Groove is my middle name, or something like that. I don't know.
Surrender to the rhythm.
I like to edit. I guess that's pretty much what it is. Yeah, I watched it too live that night. As a matter of fact, I was almost almost jumping up and down. I wasn't that elated because I knew what was coming after that, but I was yelling up the stairs to my wife, "Can you believe this? Can you hear this? Oh my God, this is great!"
This guy's got game. Yeah.
Right? Yes, but I mean, the politics aside, I was like, okay, and I ruminated on how am I going to make this work? I just don't know, and then when I saw the lyrics again, it was like, oh, the part that Dale wrote, it was like A, B, C. Oh, Jackson 5. Yeah, okay. Again, it's all about pastiche.
Yes.
So okay. Oh, so I went back and listened to it again, and I thought, all right, what's a good, the love you say, baby, A, B, A, B, C, A, B, C. I said, oh, okay. I think that's the pocket it's going to go into. So I basically found a tempo, and I downloaded the speech, and I very tightly cut, edited each phrase, the beginning and the end of each phrase he said, not necessarily blah, 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 over blah, 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 cut over, cut. Right. And then I said, okay, well, I had the grid of the, in the audio program. All right. So I'm going to put that there. How does it sound? Under the it doesn't group. Let me move this over a little bit. I got to get out the sounds of the Republicans booing him. Okay,
right. That was my concern too. Towards the end, they were like booing, and I was like, "That's going to end up on the track." It's like, well, no, okay, but Chris did it
again.
Yeah, cut.
Yeah, we're snipping very, very closely, and in some cases, I had to digitally, like, either speed up or slow down something he said to make it. Either say he said something so fast it left out the rest of the bar, or he had a very long thing that he did. It wasn't going to fit, and it was going to throw everything else off. So I had to time compress it. But
no bridges necessary. Operators are standing by.
That's right.
Right. Lessons number 468.
It's really kind of a version of what Chris has to do with most of the songs that we do on our show, because it's various people like me or somebody else singing. Not always, in rhythm. Chris will do a demo when he comes up with the melodies. I'm usually doing the lyrics, or Lori Firth and other cast members doing lyrics, and so it's like I'll get it, in the ballpark. And so Chris will usually have to do a little sliding here and there, and I have to do the same thing because I do the audio editing for the podcast part. And when people are trying to do things, in sync, it's like, wait,
over Zoom, no less.
Yeah, over Zoom, right? And then I have to do some of the same stuff, but not quite to the same level as what Chris is doing with the music. Oof.
But you have a lot more tracks to deal with than I do.
True.
I mean, so much more of it. What you do is locked to time. Well, it needs to be locked to time, and It isn't, which is kind of the problem, because until they figure out, I think it may exist where there's something that we can all get on and have our own track and have it be in real time and it'll be proper. But I don't know if it's actually gotten there yet. Where
technology,
if we're still on, like, if we're dealing with packets on the internet,
there's still lag and all that. It'll never be.
Supposedly, there's a service designed specifically for musicians where they can rehearse together over the internet. I forget what it's called, but supposedly the lag is low enough that you can actually play instruments with other people. So, I mean, I don't know if it's worth looking into for what you guys are doing or not, but I can't remember what it's called, but it's something, it's specifically geared towards musicians.
I have heard of something like that. It's something like virtual rehearsal space or rehearsal space or something space. Space, man. Space.
Last year we did a live streaming show where two of us were in a studio in Virginia and everyone else was coming in over Zoom, and there was a musical number. And so, and one of the guys, George Washington III, one of our cast members, was with me, and he was singing part of the song. But basically, we had to pre-record everything, including Chris's part and Lisa and various other folks, and then have the music track playing in Virginia so that George could sing live to that. So we sort of kind of half faked it, half did it live, but it worked out well.
How did we do the Buddy Lee thing? Because I did that.
You did that
to a track.
You pre-recorded that.
Yeah. Did I play the track from here, or did you play the
No,
track?
we played it in Virginia. You were miming to it again with a little.
Oh, that's
delay.
okay. That's right. Yeah, I was miming. I wasn't actually singing.
Yes,
Yeah.
but you'd already recorded your vocals, so yeah, it worked out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's technology stuff, you know. Back in my day, I'm sorry.
By the way, that podcast we're talking about is my friend Lisa, Lyssa, and it's wherever
That's the
fine
Welsh
podcasts
spelling.
are. Welsh spelling is wherever fine podcasts are boiled
Indeed.
or scrambled. And
we usually have a song. This time we won't actually because we were chock full of material, but that's okay. The rest of it is all funny.
Yay, funny. Because it is all about funny here, isn't it? It's funny.
And in fact, the name of the upcoming album, which will be we did 3 albums with Pièce de Résistance, the previous show, and with my friend Lisa's. This is our second season now, but this is our first album billed under the Suffolk and Good Players, and the album is called Suffolk and Funny. You know, hey, just roll with it, right? So
I see what he did there.
Yeah. So we're excited about that.
Look for that coming out in the next month or two on Records.
Yep.
This tune is it is politically oriented. It's not that much of what we do is anymore. It is a different show. I realize. I think the stuff that we have put out through the FuMP has tended to be more politically oriented, only in that either it was a really good idea at the time, and we thought jump while it's hot. It's not that hot as of this date. His speech, but I think we felt it was a really good idea. There's going to be a lot of stuff on the album that has nothing whatsoever to do with politics.
Right.
A lot of
a little social commentary or just funny stuff. There's one called "Twitch Will Make Me Rich."
Matter of fact, somebody said Twitch stream earlier, and that's exactly the chorus of the tune. My Twitch stream, it makes my rich dreams come true. So about that people kind of who play video games on Twitch and somehow make money at it.
Yes, we also had a parody of Rocket Man called with Bernie Sanders singing with you playing with Chris playing Bernie. It's called Fakakta Man, which was good fun. He's complaining to Bezos about rockets, and he's singing about Jeff Bezos, basically. So, yeah.
Jeff, get out of this Meshuggah rocket and pay your damn taxes.
And Bernie gets stuck in the rockets. It's like, Jane, stop this crazy thing.
Jane, get it, Jane? Right? Hey, real life Jane.
Yeah. Anyway. But
so we're continuing to slog out the funny. We're recording our latest episode tomorrow afternoon. And it will be out on Tuesday, which is what is that day? I don't even know. I can't even.
It's that the Tuesday after this.
It's Tuesdays now.
Tuesday's
we
the
used to be
28th.
15.
Yeah, it'll be the 28th, right? The end of February. We're trying to do it every other week. Although we do 2 episodes, and then the next one is actually like a bonus one which is usually me and Lisa Graham. My friend Lisa, chatting and occasionally playing outtakes and whatnot from previous episodes. So we got a little bit of a break. If we were actually making money doing this, we would probably try to do it more often. But hint, hint, if they want to join our patreon.com/myfriendlisa. But,
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Can we get, please subscribe to our thing. We've been doing this for 5 years
Smash that
now.
like button.
Yes, smash that like button and hit that, ring that bell so you don't. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. But yeah, we've been doing this, well, not nearly as long as you guys have, granted, but
we do not have 600 plus episodes, no.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Which is amazing.
A handful. We were on shortwave for a time, though, which was interesting. We paid for it, but we were in fact running Pièce de Résistance on shortwave radio, which was pretty cool. When I went into my ham radio and tuned in 7490 kilohertz, and somewhere through the and I would hear our show.
Actually got a fan email about that, and I had a little back and forth with him. Turned out he was someone who was currently incarcerated in the federal prison system.
Pièce de Résistance, our
captive
friends,
audience,
felons, loved by felons worldwide.
So I was impressed by that. I mean, that's like, man, okay.
That could be your tagline, loved by felons worldwide. Put that on the website. That's fantastic.
Hey,
Indeed.
So that's where we're at right now. So yeah, keep an eye on sagplayers.bandcamp.com. Or I hesitate to say SAG players because we might get in trouble with our.
Some of us are SAG, not all of us.
Yeah, some of us pay them, but we don't get everything we're supposed to. But that's okay.
Yeah.
But so SAG players at .bandcamp.com. And check out the entire discography. I think.
Yeah, we have a few singles out there. This will be the first long player.
And a shout out to Mr. Arthur, who recently availed himself of the entire Suffolk and Good Players digital discography. I think for like $6 or something.
No kidding. All right.
You can always count on Mr. Arthur to. To support everything that we do, and we appreciate that.
He has to research, the Suffolk and Good Players, just in case I put any questions in the next FuMP game show about the Suffolk and Good Players. So,
well, the origin of it, I mean, it's obviously what it is, the pun, but it was Karen O'Brien, one of our cast members, who basically she's a Shakespearean trained actor, a thespian, went to England to study acting. But anyway, she's had this kind of in her back pocket that it wouldn't be fun to be, Suffolk and Good Players. And then you could have like their arch enemies, the Norfolk and Good Players. But we decided, let's do that. We'll go for it. So, yeah.
Purveyors of fine comedy since 2018.
2018, indeed.
And counting. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Counting. So we're here. We're back on the FuMP, and we're ready to see what happens from here.
And it is quite lovely to be here. We appreciate it for sure.
Awesome. Anything else you want to plug before we move on?
Well, you're DaleLeopold.com.
DaleLeopold.com, yes. And if anybody needs podcast editing services, all that, I'm quite happy to do that, as well as
in English and Spanish.
Voiceover en español también, claro que sí.
I have a red pencil box.
That's it.
And you can get me at voiceital.com.
Yeah, Voiceital. Yeah.
Certainly.
Spread out for various voiceover thingies. And,
it's not voicatile?
Well, see, it can go either way. It's either versatile. That's how it actually came to be. And we say, what's a good brand name for you? Because every other voiceover, they have like their one money voice, their one personality voice, and they sell it on that. The hip mother voice, or the hip mom, or the chick voice, and my wife says, yeah, but you're so versatile. And of course, me being an idiot, I go, yeah, Voiceital.
Well, as soon as you saw that, and it also has extra bonus for the sort of the subtext. It's in a Beatles Beatles font, the voice of tile.
Yes, I have the website designer to thank for that. Yeah,
yes, very
absolutely.
Nice. But I immediately flashed on Curly saying it as well. So I mean,
So between that, or you go voice of tile, either one. So
that's where my brain went the first time. So.
Yes, fair indeed. Enough. Yeah, ceramic tile, acoustic tile, voice of tile, It works either way. But glad to be back on Le FuMP. So
indeed.
Awesome.
And I'm also FuMPFest is like going to be 15 minutes from my house. So
yeah, we haven't announced that yet, but you're teasing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, we're teasing now.
We're teasing now.
Well, let's not tease then anymore. Okay.
Okay.
No, there is no FuMPFest. FuMPFest is over with. FuMPFest is dead. Dead, I say.
No, we're just waiting on somebody to update a thing, and then we can. We can make the announcement.
Well, it's been talked about. Let's put it that way.
It has, yeah.
It's talking about whether it's happening or not is anybody's guess. So.
I really enjoyed last year's. That was my first, and so far, obviously, only FuMPFest. But also, seeing the doctor, seeing you guys, and some amazing range of talent. I mean, who knew we'd see a Bouzouki performance from Bad Beth and Beyond? I mean, that was worth the price of admission, I think.
Yeah, Beth is amazing.
Yeah, I liked her a lot. Yeah, and the best band name ever. I mean,
yes, it's really ungoogleable, but it's the best name.
Yeah. It is. Did you mean? No, I didn't. I meant
yes, exactly.
One thing I was thinking about, though, is that I did develop in the last few months a little bit of a taste for bourbon, I have to say. I've kind of gotten away from it now, but I was making old fashions like every single night. And I decided to go with, because, you know, you got to put like a little bit of orange peel in it and a cherry. So I decided I should stick with the Walmart cherries because I didn't want to go for the luxurious cherries because they were too expensive. In fact, the Luxardo luxurious cherries are like $20. Better for my health and my wallet to stick with the non-luxurious cherries. So.
And what brand of bourbon?
I lost track of how many times you did it, so I'm just gonna.
Okay. Can't fight the bourbon. Bullet or Woodford Reserve or Knob Creek or.
All right,
but not so much now.
So we're gonna move on to some news. Chris, you said you're gonna take off. Dale, I assume you're gonna take off.
Yep.
All right.
Time for the Jazz Jam at the club in Akron. Yeah, and I'm gonna go play.
Play that bass.
Go have fun.
I just want to know before.
It's like
before
a violin,
you guys
only
go,
bigger.
I just wonder before you guys go, Chris, is your ham radio handle going to be Super Horse?
No, that was my that would have been my CB handle, but at the time it was Beatty Huey. I don't know. No, I'll be W5VOX, which is what I am now. So there we are.
Okay. All right. Well,
Thanks,
thank
guys.
you for joining us.
You betcha.
And we will catch you next time.
See y'all.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Honey mustard.
The world's longest running comedy music concert series is back.
Hello, MarsCon people!
Those were enthusiastic woos.
MarsCon 2023 is taking place March 10th through 12th at the Hilton Minneapolis St. Paul Mall of America Hotel in Bloomington, Minnesota.
Coming up here, I was gathering up all my supplies, you know, Fuji's, Golden Deliciouses, Red Deliciouses, Granny Smiths, but I was able to make it to Minnesota after compiling my Minneapolis list.
This year's event will have performances by Robbie Ellis, Klingon Pop Warrior, Nuclear Bubble Wrap, The Odd Ditties, Holy Bongwater, Regdar and the Fighters, The Great Luke Ski, TV's Kyle and Linzilla, Insane Ian, Steve Goode, Il Nay, Meow Meme, and this year's music guest of honor, Bonnie Gordon.
I'm working on 6 projects, cause I can't focus on one. With everything all at once, nothing never gets done. Some say it's a problem, something wrong with my brain. The rules of society raise my anxiety, I wouldn't change a thing.
Registration for a weekend badge is $70. To pre-register and for more info on MarsCon, visit marscon.org.
I walked away with the microphone so you guys get to still hear me. I'm holding the loud stick.
But whether you're attending or not, you can still help out by ordering the MarsCon 2023 Comedy Music Track Fundraiser album. Available as an MP3 download for $30, it's just under 4 hours of highlights from all of the live concerts from MarsCon 2022.
It's a song about adorable little muffins. I said adorable little muffins! Thank you! Jeez!
This year's album includes comedy music by MarsCon 2022's music guests of honor, TV's Kyle and Linzilla.
Lindsay remembered the cowbell.
If you'd like to hear a free 30-minute preview of the collection, there's a link to download that at our website.
There's certain tunes that we've done over the years that are whimsical, but there are some that are just downright effing weird.
You can order and download the album right now from the shop page at marsconcomedy.com.
Can we get a chant here going? Come on, folks.
Thanks for listening, Funny Music fans, and we hope to see you all at MarsCon 2023.
I apologize for those things that pretended to be notes.
Thank you for attending. No autographs today.
Weird.
Time for Funny Music News. Something.
I love that one of the muffins you drew has a crown.
I'm glad somebody noticed that. The Muffin King from Mighty Magiswords.
All right. In the news, Mikey Mason has been cast as Dewey, the lead in the new production of School of Rock. This
awesome.
is going to be running at the Muncie Civic Theater in Indiana, in Muncie, Indiana, specifically, April 28th through May 21st. Tickets and more information available at munciecivic.org. So, good going, Mikey. That's awesome. And Katie Goodman's Broad Comedy Show returns to New York City. This will be the first performance since the pandemic shut everything down. This is produced by Katie Goodman. This is an all-female comedy show. There's a little bit of music, a little bit of improv, a little bit of sketches. There's a little bit of everything, a little bit of stand-up. It's taking place at the Triad Theater in New York City. The first production is going to be May 3rd. For more information, go to broadcomedy.com. And that's all the news I got. You got MarsCon stuff?
Yep. So to bring us up to speed from last week, the name I was trying to remember when I was driving Santana to the airport was Amy Roberts. So thank you, Amy, for purchasing the fundraiser album this year. Since then, David Southwick also purchased a copy of the album. So thank you, David. And Carl Brown, a former performer of the MarsCon comedy music track, also purchased one. And finally, Matthew Tesoro decided to take the plunge and get all 17 collections. So
nice. He
dropped the $200 to get all of the whole shebang, all 62 plus hours of it. So yeah. Another
hour 48. He's like, oh my God, so much tile.
And another kind of quick side note is that I had previously had up there a stretch goal, and thanks to the powers that be at MarsCon helping out, that stretch goal no longer needs to be a thing. So the only goal we have is the main goal. So
nice.
The goal, once again, is $1,200. We are currently at $1,195.40. So if anyone's listening live and felt like buying a copy of the album like right now, that's a thing you can do at MarsConComedy.com and click on the shop page, and it's right there. It's $30, which is more than $4.60 in case you hadn't noticed. And, any funds raised over the $1,200 will go towards other MarsCon things because there are always expenses for things. So, yeah. So there we go for that. I also wanted to mention that we still are looking for, excuse me, at least one volunteer for Table 27. Somebody stepped up to me today and said that they would be interested in being a Table 27 volunteer. So now we're up to 5. So we need at least one more. So if you'd like to get your badge comped for the weekend, you can reach out to me and let me know. My email address is thegreatlukeski@gmail.com. And let me know, and then I'll let the person running the table know, and that would be Jared Perez, a.k.a. Mr. Tuesday. So I'll be, letting him know and, gathering some information from you so I can send it to the convention so that you can get your comped badge all set up. Let me just poke around the website here to make sure there isn't anything else. Oh, yeah, I did kind of want to mention this because I can't remember if I had before, or at least not, kind of really did a thing. We are once again doing the Dumb Parody Ideas contest, which will be Sunday from 2:30 to 3 p.m. So what that is, if you haven't heard of it, is basically if you have your own dumb idea for a parody, and the notion here is that we're just keeping it short. Like you just kind of say like one line or a verse and a chorus, or if it's a song of unusual structure, we'll let you go as long as like 90 seconds. You don't have to have a backing track. You can just sing it a cappella. You can have a backing track. You can bring instruments and play it if you want. You can, however you want to present it is fine. But, the point is that you don't need to put a lot of time or effort or money into this thing. The point is to just bring the dumbest idea for a parody you can think of, and everyone gets can enter up to 3 when they get up on stage, and then we narrowed that down to like the top finalists, and then we have the audience cheer for whoever they think should win, and then we pick a winner, and the winner gets the Golden Spatula, which is a spatula that's colored gold. And that's it. It's basically just a bragging rights competition. You're playing for a spatula you can buy at the Walmart website for like less than $10.
The spatula has been spray painted gold. Do not cook with the golden spatula. You will get paint poisoning or something like that.
Actually, the one I got last year wasn't painted gold. It was actually already the
Oh,
color
really?
of gold to begin with. So
Oh,
it
okay,
was like, ooh.
nice. Because I always had to spray paint the ones that I gave away.
Yeah, I'm hoping and assuming that particular model is still available, so I can just order another one of those and give myself one less task to do. And the reason why I'm bringing all this up, Insane Ian will be hosting it per usual. But at last, finally, I have a song that I'm entering in the Dumb Parody Ideas contest, so I'm actually going to compete this time.
Nice.
Yeah, I may come up with a couple other ideas just for the sake of having 3 entries of new things, but I have a new thing that will be for the Dumb Parody Ideas contest, so I am excited about it.
I have to say that the Smurf one you do in live concert, I laughed my ass off the first time I heard you do that. So
I thought of that back when I was, still married to Sarah, and I specifically remember how annoyed she was when I came up with that idea. She's like, because she's a huge fan of that band, and then I finally did it on stage, and she was just like, God damn it.
Just the chorus is just brilliant, and that's all it needs to be. It just
because it's the best because it's the kind of thing that you should see coming, but
yes,
you don't.
Right.
because I don't say that word, and it's the very last word in the whole thing, and it's like, oh. Yeah. So it's super fun. Metro Table 27. I guess now would also be a good time to mention the Space Oddity Music Club and Brew Pub is once again doing their room party, and they also have a fundraiser to help them, just have a fun room party. They are trying to raise $850. Looks like they're up to $540. So they are at GoFundMe.com. Just look up Space Oddity at MarsCon 2023, and you can make donations there too. But only after you've bought the MarsCon fundraiser album. I didn't spend all that time putting together that video promo for it to not be a thing that made people spend money on a thing. So, yeah. Yeah, and I guess that's all. I'm trying to think of other things that are MarsCon related that I haven't specifically talked about. Here's another thing I guess I could mention. I do have the schedule up, and one of the things on the schedule, because it wasn't until recently that we had an actual finished title for it, is Steve Goode's concert that's happening Saturday at 2:30 is titled Steve Goode Presents Al, the Weird Tribute, parentheses, and how Daniel Radcliffe got mixed up in this nonsense, parentheses. And I'm giving him a slightly longer concert because the show he's doing is a specific show that he is trying to get pitched around to festivals. I think it's the Edinburgh Festival. I could be wrong about that, but
he's supposedly doing it in Edinburgh.
Yeah, so it's a specific show that he's doing, themed around, the fact that, Weird the Al Yankovic story came to be, starring Daniel Radcliffe, who is the guy who plays Harry Potter, and he's done a whole ton of songs about that. So yeah, yeah, and I'm at the point now where the great majority of the things I need to get done for MarsCon are done, and I can actually concentrate on my own concert, which means I have about a week left to write and record a new song and then send it to Devo with a bunch of other tracks so that he can and also finish the rest of the album art and tray card and all that stuff so that Devo can start making the CDs for me so that he can ship them to me, and then I can have an album to sell at the convention. So there we go. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Tour dates. On Sundays in Nashville, Tennessee, Steve Goode hosting at the Bluebird. On Mondays, online, Steve Goode and Brad Tassel at virtualcomedyshow.com. On the 26th in Chicago, Illinois, Robbie Ellis and friends. On the 28th in Chicago, Illinois, Jake Dewar. On the 28th in Santa Cruz, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. On the 28th, online, Carla Ulbrich. And on the 1st in Oakland, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction.
Oh, this just in. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
This just in, I got a PayPal donation of $5 from Wildcard saying, now the fundraiser goal has been met.
Awesome. Thank you, Wildcard.
And then immediately after that, I got a purchase of the fundraiser album from David Cottrell. So thank you to both of you. Yay, we hit the fundraiser goal.
Yay! Dun, 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 dun. I should program a celebration thing other than the show title one. Yeah. Birthdays on Sunday the 26th. It's my birthday.
Yeah, Devo Spice.
I might be spending the day coding, but it's gonna be my birthday. No, I will not spend the day coding if it kills me. All right. Second song of the week is a newly remastered version of the Lemon Demon classic Geeks in Love. Records. Go to needlejuicerecords.com for information. It's available on vinyl, CD, or cassette. And digital download, of course. All right, let's do some feedback.
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio.
www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback.
Feedback.
Feedback, you know that segment of the show we do about now?
Feedback. Feedback.
Feedback.
Alvarant wrote, "Thank you for doing the Spotify playlist each week. I use it when I'm on my exercise bike. If you ever get stuck for ideas, how about playing the biggest FuMP hits from each year or asking the core members to make a list of their favorite songs, funny or otherwise?" Yeah, we could absolutely do any of that. Thank you. But I already know what this week's playlist is going to be, so but we'll get to that. All right, that's all the feedback we got. And
teasing. He's a teasing kind of guy. Now you have a job.
Yeah. This is the part where there's
whoops.
feedback.
Yeah, shut up.
Teasing.
No, damn it. Clicking wrong things. Tomorrow's song is by me, Devo Spice. Yeah! I was hoping the video would be done in time. It is not going to be done in time. Hopefully soon. We're going to have a special bonus Sunday slot this week from Steve Goode. And Tuesday's song is by a new artist. So you're going to sit around and wait and hear that one. And because Sunday is my birthday this week, Spotify playlist topic is birthdays. So there.
Hooray.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about?
Nope. Just, yeah. MarsCon is coming. Sooner than you think.
Yep. Sooner than you think.
So go to MarsConComedy.com or MarsCon.com to find out more about the general convention. And, yeah. Feel free to still pick up the fundraiser album if you want to hear a bunch of cool music, and then the money will be used for things.
I just wanted to mention that I did finally watch Skinamarink.
Mm-hmm.
And what was Santana's take on the movie?
Just that it was horrible.
Yeah, I kind of agree with her. It was boring. I literally almost fell asleep, and I had to stop watching it, and then I watched the second half of it the following day. I might have had a better reaction to it if I managed to catch it in theaters, because I might have been more in the mood for it. But it's a lot of like, here's the corner of a ceiling, very dark and grainy, for 15 to 20 seconds, and nothing happens. Here's the corner of the floor, very dark and grainy, for 15 to 20 seconds. That's the whole movie. And, you know, then every so often you hear a little kid's voice, or you see like little feet walking around and stuff. It's just, it didn't do it for me. I know there are people raving about it, and I'm glad they enjoyed it, but this was not for me. So, I'm also watching Wolfpack. Have you seen that?
I have not.
It's a new werewolf show on Paramount Plus, starring Sarah Michelle Gellar, and it's cheesy, but I'm enjoying it. You know, it's campy, but I don't think it's intentionally campy. It's just a little over the top. The acting isn't all that great. The special effects are terrible, and it's just. But I'm enjoying it for some reason. I don't know why, but I'm digging it.
Do you watch What We Do in the Shadows?
Yes.
Okay.
I have. I don't think
Carrie
I've seen the latest scene, but I don't think I'm caught up. But I have seen it.
Yeah, there's a spinoff. I've known about it, but I hadn't got around to watching it yet, called Wellington Paranormal. And Carrie's been watching it, and she says it's really funny, so I need to start watching that. So,
we had it passed away recently, but we had a rat that had no hair. He was bald, so we named him Colin Robinson. So
awesome.
All right, let's get out of here. Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice.
I'm Luke Ski.
And some Suffolk and Good people were here earlier.
And now they're not.
Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org and join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of Fidem Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons share-alike license. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, shout it to random people on the street, and be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week where you'll hear Luke Ski say,
Speaking boy to super horse, what's your 20 over?